you doing?
Great. How are you, John?
I'm good. I can hear you well. Where are you located?
Oh, I'm in Alberta in Canada.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so on to I guess the news of the day is you're running for president in 2020 in the United States. Would you like to let us know what your
You bet.
platform is, so we can let people have
You
an
bet.
idea?
Okay. First of all, this is my second time, 2016, on the Libertarian Party. I came in third for a nomination, which is not bad. This year, I'm certain to come in first and get the nomination. I won't be president, people. That's not possible. Libertarian Party is, even though it's the third largest party, it is so small compared to the Republicans and Democrats. There is no way for a third party to get in. Nevertheless, my platform is very simple. I have no platform on any specific issue. I don't know. My platform is simply we are being deluded, people. It doesn't matter who president is. Um, the system is like an automobile broken steering wheel. It doesn't matter who's driving. That car is going where it wants. And we're in the same situation. We're in that situation because America has become so complex as a government, beginning with the creation of the CIA in the middle of the last century. And the CIA has grown in such awesome power that they have all the information on everything happening in the world. The people working there are lifetime employees. You don't quit the CIA. I mean, you might get whacked, but you don't quit and you don't retire. You're there for life. And politicians come and go. The CIA calls them transients, by the way. So these transients come and go, and the CIA just deals with them as they would idiots. If the CIA wants to do something, they will just simply feed the information to the president and Congress, and it will happen. For example, in the second Gulf War, the CIA deemed it necessary to diminish Iraq's power. It was getting too powerful in the region, and it was not in the CIA's interest. So what they did is told George Bush that, listen, they're weapons of mass destruction. They got nuclear missiles. Have any nuclear weapons there? No, come to find out. Everybody knew it except the president and Congress. So we have a government that's operating on selective information. I'm not saying the CIA lies about everything. That was just a rare event in lying. Usually it's the truth, but which part? If you want the president to support owning guns, then you say you'll give him information. Sir, there were 18 incidents last month alone. I mean, a grandmother who saved her grandchild in a bed because the home was raided and she shot them all down. Or a mother was about to be raped and she reached under the pillow and pulled out a 9mm and popped him in the head. And on the other side, sir, we only had one armed robbery in the past month. Now, that's an extreme example. But if the president has no other way to check information, then you tell me what is he going to think. This is how America is controlled. So I don't want to sit in that chair. I do not. To be a puppet, I mean, I was a puppet for the first half of my life. I'm going back there. But I am running so that I can tell the world what the real problem is. It's not immigration, people, and it's not world finance or world economics. It is the fact that our government is now no longer the government that we put in power. I'm not saying people like the CIA or evil. No, I think they're patriots. I think they're really doing what they think is best for this nation. But I didn't elect them to make those decisions. Neither did anybody else. Anyway, I'm sorry. I went off on a rant, my friend.
Well, it's interesting to know that you stated you don't want to win, but you want a platform, and we want to know, as somebody who, like the shadow government yourself, you're not a one-trick pony. You did something extraordinary. Every time I boot up my new laptop here, it says, please install this software. And that's a legacy. But now you've moved into other things such as cryptocurrency and running for president. You know, we want to know what shapes your, you know, your idea. What is it that you want us to do, seeing that you can see so clearly things that others don't? Antivirus is
Well,
extraordinary. You've done extraordinary just there.
but but really, all I want to do is to let people see. Do you understand? Is to package it in words or actions or symbols or videos in some way that lets you see the simplicity of this, but it's just difficult to put into words. I want to do that. I want to open the curtain in a way that it's palatable for people rather than fearful because they don't understand how it works. I want to explain to people how it works. And then you shouldn't be afraid of it. You know, you might be afraid of your car engine if you can't fix it and know nothing about it, just in case it goes dead in the middle of the highway. But if you know where the water goes, the oil goes, and what a spark plug is, then 99% of the time you're going to be fucking fine. Same thing here, people. I just want to open your eyes.
So, John, you're a big exponent of Bitcoin, and a lot of people have come on board through your exposing some really fantastic things going on in that space. Bitcoin, you predicted way back that it would hit 10,000. It doubled that. Now you're saying 1 million, and you know, I'm very, very excited to know what you think is going to happen next, like the halvening coming up next
Well,
year.
listen, I don't think Bitcoin is an issue. I think cryptocurrency is what we need to be talking about. Bitcoin is just one of many thousands. It happens to be the one with the largest volume on exchanges, but is by no means the one that is used the most. There are two different things here. The ones that are used and the ones that will eventually have profound value because of their use are Monero, because it's a privacy coin, Ethereum, because it's cheaper and faster than Bitcoin, and DAI, or SAI, it's now called, which is a stable coin that never varies 1 penny from the US dollar. I mean, I don't care what the volume is on any given day, it never varies more than a penny. Well, I think that's miraculous. So things like this, which are, and there are things coming up in the future which I cannot even anticipate. Why? That's the nature of technology. If I could anticipate them, I'd be building all of them. But you know, you can't. Things are happening now in the world of development, in the world of computer architecture and technology that are secret because that's how businesses are. You know, you don't want to give your potential competitor any information till you pop that product out the door. So any of my anticipations are going to be old because I don't have the data. But I promise you, it will be spectacular as these things blossom and grow.
It sounds very exciting, and you're involved in the McAfee Dex project. I know they're looking at doing something really interesting. Could you talk a little bit more about that? And I've heard a little bit about cross-chain swaps, and the tech sounds really
Okay.
exciting.
Okay, so I didn't want to do this project. I'll be really frank. Okay, so for 3 years, I've been on conference stages around the world on my Twitter account. Anybody who'll listen to the videos saying that if we don't have true, decentralized, and distributed exchanges, shut down. Why? Because they can. And crypto scares governments. They want to take it over. Well, I'm sorry, it's ours. We invented it. As people didn't come from the bowels of some government secret fucking program or from Samsung or IBM. Fuck no. It came from us and it's ours. So what was the question? I've been smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah, so we all my vape's gone off today, but I'd join in with you right now.
Well, I can't smoke. I'm inside, but of course I could take you out. I guess. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I didn't think I answered the question. You asked about the DEX and why. So now, if government shut us down, we're dead. In other words, they shut down centralized exchanges, then we're dead. And China's already done it 2 years ago. It shut down every centralized exchange in 24 hours. How easy is that? Centralized exchanges have addresses and servers and employees. Good God Almighty. We have to get away from that. True decentralization when there is no central server, and there is no address, and there's nobody managing, and there are no employees. That's what we have done. It was not easy. The reason I did is because nobody else out there would do it. All right. I kept saying, somebody, please God, do it everywhere. Well, people tried some, pretty shaky and tragic approaches, and finally I go, okay, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself. And so I got with Josh Case at SwitchDex, who I had been working with way before, and I knew everybody in this business who was developing decentralized exchanges, and everyone were tragic except for SwitchDex, and they were tragically limited by marketing and everything else, and all they had is the Ethereum chain. Well, good God, that means that if I have an Ethereum coin, I can only exchange it for what? Another ERC20. Right. Talking about goddamn everything. So I went to them and said, listen, let's do this for real. So we actually came out with our beta version. We were still in beta. We now have added Tron to the blockchains. By the end of this month, we will have Binance, EOS, and Neo. Still no cross change yet, so it's still not really functional. I mean, unless you want to just trade in that blockchain. But by the second quarter of next year, we will have true cross chains, and you may trade anything for anything. End of story. And you give us no information. You don't give us your name, your email address, your phone number, your bank information. We ask for no documents. We don't want to know who you are. We just built a portal. Please walk through without disturbing us. And that's what we built. It costs nothing to list. Try listing on Binance, $75,000 to $150,000. What do we charge? Nothing except the energy to push the button at the top of the page that says list new token. Go ahead, push it, list it. Thank you. We have no control over that. We can't stop you from listing. We can't change your listing. We can't delist you. Why? I chose an architecture where all of our logic is in smart contracts on the blockchains. Now then, we can't delist it. We can't stop you from listing. Neither can any power on earth. No government, no regulatory body, not a fucking soul. And now I'm in hiding, else I would not have done this, because if I had done this without being in hiding, I would have to go into hiding, because I have not adhered to a single know your customer, anti-money laundering, no portals for government to access through any back fucking door, because there is no back door and can't be one in place. Now, they're not happy with me, are they? Because I've built something that normally you build it, we're going to arrest you and tear it down. Well, you're going to arrest me, but you sure as fuck are not tearing this down. It can't be done. This is my gift to you people, since you motherfuckers were too lazy to do it for yourselves. There you have it.
Now, John, the question of scaling arises. If you wanted something, broadly deployed, such as, antivirus software, as you succeeded on deployment there, billions of computers have access to your software. Is there something you can see, like, you remember the show on Netflix, Silicon Valley, like a distributed net rather than just a cryptocurrency exchange? Is there something you can see getting out there on a decentralized platform, like, say, internet, just like in Silicon Valley? Would you see deploying something on everyone's cell phone, for example?
Deploying what now?
Say, there's the idea of going really broad deployment, and what's your idea of getting either cryptocurrency broadly deployed so it's on everybody's cell phone?
I got you. I got you. Well, we need to make it less technical and we need to talk about it more and we need to talk about the right things. What we talk about is get in here, boys and girls, and you can trade coins and make a fortune. Well, that's kind of like sitting outside the door of a casino in Las Vegas trying to get fucking customers. 9 out of 10 are going to go, leave me alone, right? Instead, why aren't we saying cryptocurrency is the key to your fucking freedom, people? To get away from fiat currencies controlled by and monitored by governmental and regulatory agencies. Do you want to spend your life with someone pouring through your every fucking penny and where it comes from and where it goes? Or would you rather have people leave you the fucking alone? Since you made the money, nobody has the right. And when governments say, yeah, but we have to collect income taxes, at least in America, are unconstitutional, people. They were not in effect prior to 1913. And prior to 1913, we were a world industrial fucking power. So don't buy this shit. Oh, without the income tax, we'll collapse. Well, yeah, those things will collapse, but only those things which the government finally understands. Oh, Christ, we don't have the money. We don't need this. What's wrong with that? And all those poor people that get kicked out, well, we'll hire them in industry because we'll be producing more. We'll be in desperate need of labor if we just do the right thing. And this is why people are coming in, because we're not talking about that. We're talking about get rich quick. And that's a perversion of the intent of this technology, people. Free yourselves. The blockchain is an impervious, immutable record of reality. No more people who in power can go and change the record. And you think that doesn't happen? That's the most common of all events. In government, let's go back and change truth. Like we're in 1984, the Ministry of Truth. We don't call it that. We call it the CIA. We call it the NSA. We call it the no. Let's prevent them from doing that without using force. Now, they will make personal cryptocurrencies illegal, and they will, of course, build their own. And those will be perversions too, because rather than giving you privacy and anonymity, they will monitor every financial move you make. Mm-hmm. Don't buy into that shit. So you want new people in the space? Tell them something that they desperately already want. And this is the answer to that eternal search for fucking freedom.
So on the issue of scaling again, that we require greater participation and incentivization. You say is the increase in the value of the coins. What do you have to say about utility now? I see you said privacy coins are very useful. Medical coins, MTC for example, Monero. All of these coins you've pointed out specifically. Could you sort of underline why these are helpful? In respect of what you've just commented on?
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about privacy first, because that's a big one. And then you talk about coins like Monero and Apollo and Zcash and SafeX and on, the privacy coins. Now, why are privacy coins needed? Because without them, we have things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, and most others, where if I want to see how much money you have, what comes in and what goes out, it's just me as an average person. All I got to do is get you to sell me something or buy something from me, and I've got your wallet address. From that point on, look in your wallet, see how much you've got. But goddamn, you're making a lot of money. I wonder what you're doing. See where you spend it, who gets it. If the bank did that, we wouldn't use that bank, would we? No. The bank said, oh, we're making a new policy. We're going to, for anybody, if you write anybody a check, that person is allowed to come into the bank and look into your account for whatever they want and go back in history as far as they want and continue forever in time. And we're going to do that. You move your money. So that's why people are going to move their money in terms of real money. I'm talking about that thing that you can spend and earn. Do you understand? That's the real cryptocurrency, not some fucking exchange. That's a necessity in order for this structure to be supported. But within the structure, we have something that's new, completely new in human fucking history, an invention that allows us to shrug off the yoke of overburdening government without having to go through the nonsense of trying to vote them in, vote them out, and the impossibility of the voting system. No, with our own mind, with our own two hands.
Yes, I like the reference. It reminds me of the Ben Harper song, and you know, commerce seems to play a big part in the future of cryptocurrency. We know people use their cells to do swaps in China pretty much exclusively. Do you see a time, you know, where here in the West people will make that shift? I mean, there's a lot of concern about tech and
I'm
AI.
sorry, the shift from what to what? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, short of government stepping in and issuing a crypto, the use case for which you said is very apparent for them, keep track of everyone. But what about like Litecoin, for example? You know, Charlie Lee said, I want this to be the thing that people use to buy and sell, whereas Bitcoin is a store of value. Could you say how we might see more use case for commerce, like, you know, people
For
online,
commerce?
commerce?
Well, we have it. We have it already. Um, I buy everything with crypto, everything, cars, houses, clothes, bulletproof vests, nothing. You can't buy with crypto if you're just willing people to search. Go on to the web, use Google, it's a well-known program, and search, what do you want? What do you want to buy? Clothes, cryptocurrency. Put those two together. You don't have to put a verb or a noun or anything else in, and you're going to pop up with all kinds of shit. People selling clothes for crypto. People wanting to buy clothes for crypto. It's starting. It's here. Just got to use it. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we see Direct Dorsey at Twitter going into Square, and they're moving into the crypto space. I guess we're just waiting for Bezos, and you know, is Musk Satoshi is another question that's sort of arisen here.
Yeah.
And I
Is what? No, Musk is no Musk is. Please God, people. Musk is not. We know who, which group of people Satoshi came from. We know all of their fucking names. All right.
right, you
Um,
said look at
we
the
just don't
code
know.
base, and it's
We don't.
partially
We
Satoshi.
don't know. We don't know who wrote the white paper among them. Maybe they drew straws. I don't fucking know. And I know who wrote the white paper. Anybody
Okay,
can find out by doing a little analysis on authorship. Okay,
right.
and it was not Craig White. All right, so but although Craig White was among that group, all right, there's no question there. Um, but he's not Satoshi. I don't know why people care who Satoshi is. Who cares? Who had the best writing talents among that group of technologists? It's totally immaterial in my fucking mind. And in fact, whoever it was, probably since they had the writing talents, were deficient in something important. So why do we even want to know?
Yes, it is an odd question, and as you said, does it matter? I mean, it's the gold standard as far as you know, repository of wealth. Do you want to make another comment on, you know, your targets? Do you want to revise your targets from 2020? I personally, I think it's possible. Anything
No,
can happen. You're
to
sticking.
revise my target. No, no, I'm comfortable. Jesus God, people, next year is going to be the year,
Yes.
and it's going to be chaos and painful and joyful all in one. I know. Listen, I know what I'm doing.
Well, it is exciting, and it's a matter of participation. You know, Binance brought a lot of people into the space. Yourself, you know, I come into this space exclusively through, you know, exposure to your tweets, and you know, I thankfully have done well as a respectfully from your advice. So thank you for
You're very welcome. You're very welcome, sir. And I think we're out of time.
yes, sir.
And I appreciate very much you having me on. And if you want to do this again, please schedule again through Janice.
Oh, well, looking forward to it. Have a great
All right.
afternoon, and wherever you're at, it's
And
morning
all
here.
right.
Thank you for your time, John.
All right. Thank you. Okay.